Hey guys, welcome to the Devo. Today we're going to be in Romans chapter 12, and we're going to talk a little bit about what it means to be dedicated to God. I don't know if you think that you're a dedicated Christian, if you would say, I'm pretty dedicated to God, but I would say that as we move through life, if you are a believer in Jesus, there's this growing knowledge and understanding of really what it means to take up our cross and follow Jesus, to really be sacrificial people and to give our whole selves to God. And I think it's the same way in every area of life. When I got married, I thought I was a dedicated husband. And then as life moved on, I realized that dedication takes a lot more than I thought. When we started having kids, I thought I was a dedicated father. And then as the kids started growing up, it demanded more of me and has demanded more of me. And so I think as we grow, we learn that there's more sacrifice to be made than we ever thought we would have to make when it comes to being dedicated to someone or something. And the same is true in your relationship with God. And so this is Romans chapter 12, verse 1 says this: "And so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to God because of all he has done for you. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship him. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect." And so what you're going to see here are three things that we dedicate to God when we're actually a dedicated believer. You see the mind, the body, and the will. The mind, the body, and the will. And so first he says, offer your bodies, right? And so we offer our bodies as a sacrifice. And certainly if we're going to say, man, I'm dedicated to anything or anyone, we're going to have to do that physically. Like there'll be a way that we physically show our dedication. And the same is true with God. If we're dedicated to God, our actions are going to show it. We're going to live differently. We're going to do different things. You'll find us doing different things, being in different places, going to church, being around people who are hurting. Like we will physically do different things with our body when we're dedicated to God. The same is true when it comes to sin, right? We're going to resist sin. Anything that we do with our body, the body's called the temple, right? God resides in our body. And so because God lives in us, we don't want to do anything with our bodies that doesn't represent who God is. And so if we're dedicated, we're going to dedicate our bodies. And he talks about our minds. There's one thing that we need to know about our minds, and that's that our minds are broken. Apart from Jesus, we are going to think different thoughts and believe different things that don't lead us to hope and to wholeness. And so the next thing after we dedicate our bodies is to dedicate our minds to God. Like, God, would you renew my mind, change the way I think? This is really at its root what repentance is. Repentance is the word metanoia. In the Greek. It means, meta means change, noia means mind. And so we're actually praying that God would change our minds. And then the last thing is the will. We dedicate our bodies, our minds, and then our wills are really what our lives are all about. We want to dedicate to God what we're after in life. And so we're changing our focus and our end game to align with God's kingdom. And so this is really what it means to be dedicated to God. And I just want to encourage you today to figure out how you can dedicate your mind, your body, and your will to God in a greater way today.